Gorgeous day today if you like the slightly milder temperatures. Well, you were in luck. We hit 69 degrees at Kenner. Some spots got into the low 70s. Now, while we were certainly warmer than yesterday's high of 62, still well below the average high of 79. Now, our morning low at Kenner did get pretty cold, 40 degrees. The record on this date is 35. And kind of reevaluating our lows from yesterday, Kenner did actually break a record when the midnight temperature, or just before midnight last night, dropped down to 43 degrees. The old record at Kenner was 44. So we had a record yesterday at both Kenner and in Slidell. So it was a cold morning yesterday, not quite as cold this morning, or we were at least colder in the metro area. And then even some upper 30s south of the city. North Shore, only location that hit freezing was Bogalusa. We did get down to 31 degrees though at Macomb. And again, we are continuing the warming trend. Highs got into the upper 60s, low 70s. Morning lows tomorrow won't be as cold, and that'll continue on into the weekend. 68 degrees our current temperature, still very dry, but note the winds out of the south now. That will start the process of bringing back the humidity, albeit very slowly and not dramatically into the weekend, but also warming temperatures up. 60s to low 70s outside at the moment, and winds now starting to favor a southerly direction. Now the good news is, as I mentioned, we will be tapping more into the Gulf moisture. We're not going to see any kind of return to tropical moisture. That may be done with. Here's what's going on in the upper atmosphere. Still have this northerly flow, so the warming trend will be slow for at least the next day and a half or so. But by the weekend, as we start to see more of a westerly flow aloft and that southerly wind, temperatures will be easily getting back into the lower 80s. Now, there are signs of another cold front moving in by early next week. Here comes the upper trough. The problem with these more west coast or western troughs is that usually by the time they get to us, they don't really have much in the way of colder air. Note what happens. The upper low associated with the base of this trough actually starts lifting away from us. So as we get into the early to mid part of next week with this next air mass, the core of the cold will kind of sweep slightly in our direction, but most of it is going to stay to our north. So yes, we will see another front by the middle of next week, probably late Tuesday, early Wednesday. It is not going to be nearly as cold as this last one. So after we start warming back into the low 80s by the weekend and early next week, temperatures will drop, but not nearly as dramatic as we just saw. No freezing temperatures are expected as we head to the next week. And the front itself looks like the main energy is going to be to our north. So we probably won't even see a whole lot of rainfall with it. We'll actually see a low kind of develop across more of the plains as the main energy lifts away. This is the base of that upper low that I said is going to start developing. That'll send the front on through. But again, this air mass not nearly as cold as the air mass farther north, and this front will be a little bit weaker. So yeah, we're expecting a little bit of rainfall, not very much with the next front. And we do need the rain. October is historically our driest month, and we really have not seen much rain. Even most of September was pretty dry. So clear tonight, chilly, but not as cold. Lows will be dropping into the 40s and 50s, no 30s like we saw this morning. The dew points are just going to be too high. Sunny skies, milder temperatures, but still very nice. Our normal high this time of year is 79, and that's about where we'll top out tomorrow. And then only continuing to warm a couple more degrees as we head into the weekend. And yes, turning a little more humid, but not uncomfortably so. So the weekend, outdoor plans, a lot of festivals continuing on, beautiful weather. Matter of fact, with a lot of sunshine, have the sunscreen handy. Then we'll start to see maybe an isolated shower on Tuesday into early Wednesday with the next front. But as I said, the temperatures are not going to be dropping nearly as much as this previous one.